21 News is bringing you team coverage of the tragedy in Warren from anchor Leslie Barrett and 21 News reporter Lindsay McCoy. We begin with Michelle Nix reporting from Pine Avenue in Warren, the scene of the deadly crash. Michelle?
Well, Bob, we're out here at the scene of the crash where the memorial for the victims continues to grow. Teddy bears, flowers, people coming by to pay their respects. But we also have new information tonight. I've learned that the owner of the vehicle from Youngstown had driven his SUV to Federley Avenue in Warren on Saturday night to his sister's home for a gathering or party of sorts. That's where he saw some of the victims. Now, we're told that he stayed overnight. He woke up the next morning to find his car keys missing along with the SUV. He would later learn that his sister's roommate, 19-year-old Alexis Kaysen, was driving the vehicle when it crashed, killing 6 young people, including herself. Tonight, I talked to a survivor who says he repeatedly begged that young woman to slow down. 6 young lives tragically cut short when a speeding car crashes into a guardrail, flips over, landing in a pond just before 7 a.m. on Sunday. At least 2 of the young victims and 1 survivor are from the same Warren neighborhood, including 15-year-old Kirkland Boehner, his mother and sister overcome with unbearable grief.
They just took my brother.
Oh, that was your brother. I'm so sorry.
I called them all my brothers because they were so close. You don't know the whole pain until it happens to you yourself.
But there to comfort Kirkland Boehner's mother and sister, survivor 18-year-old Brian Henry. He had to use his elbow to break the back window, get out, and run for help. He says 8 people had piled into the vehicle, some sitting on each other's laps. They were still alive when he and another survivor ran to get help.
They was panicking. I was about to panic, but I couldn't. I had to get help.
Henry says he's not sure where the group was coming from. They picked him up minutes before the crash at a friend's house to take him home. He says the 19-year-old driver, Alexis Kaysen, was ping-ponging from one guardrail to the next.
She was speeding. I looked at her. I was telling her to slow down the whole time we was in the car.
Lisa Williamson, the mother of 14-year-old victim Brenda Murray, says her last words to her son that night, "I love you." He had gone to spend the night at victim Raymond White's house, but he wasn't allowed to go anywhere else.
They were sneaking to a party, like we have done so many times. And from what I understand, they were trying to get back home before any of the parents woke up.
For LaMonna and Derek Ray, the parents of 15-year-old victim Dalen Ray, the reality of what's happened still seems like a bad dream.
I always thought he would make national news playing sports because he was so gifted and talented playing sports, but never nothing like this.
Instead, the tragic headline of 6 young lives, the victims of the worst crash in Trumbull County history and the deadliest in the state of Ohio in the last 3 years. With more local news, I'm Michelle Nix.